a lot faster.
Yeah, it's really nice.
The salad is so good. I was really waiting for this moment.
I know the handwork.
Can't you just keep the past in the past? For starters, your dad. He's trying to finish my family.
I have to get ready. I'm going on a date.
Who's the lucky guy? You may begin to address me as boss from now on.
Oh.
Why are you not in the office? She's not your boss.
You shall do anything to get me fired.
I know you're jealous of me because nimepata shares and you have none. You're on fire. Time is money. If you know I like you, yes. So nitakusaidia. Please. Kama unajipenda utatoka hapa hivi sai haraka sana.
We shall be digging deeper and understanding dementia.
So dementia is basically a decline in your cognitive function, and it has many different causes. Infections can cause dementia, brain disorders can cause dementia, having a brain injury can cause dementia.
As he struggled to remember things, he'd become quite aggressive.
Moved us from a 4-bedroom Mashonite house to a Mabati house round the corner. And he's telling us Jesus is coming, we don't need all these things. But now he's doing things that do not make sense.
He'd see children playing and he'd stop the car. He wants to go and join them.
Mamako ikifika kesho jioni kabla jarudi, Mama Jabali ataanza kuhamia huku for good.
What is he doing there? At he wounded?
Pete is the only person that I trust right now.
Why can't you tell me where you're heading to so that I may catch up with you later?
Hapo kwa kinywaji.
Hatuwezi pata mtu delivery?
Ni ya maziwa peke yake.
Kwani who is this guy? You're the one who brought him into our lives.
Hii idea ya kuibia mzae shamba. Si ilikuwa idea yako shwali. Sasa unaniruka.
Kwa hivyo ningezalia mwizi.
Jen, I don't want this man to continue being in my house.
Your house? I didn't know you're back.
Anaweza kuwa nakufa hapa.
Usho na mtu anakufa na ameshikilia chupa ya pombe.
Baba Jiri kuja. Sasa kuingilia kazi ya Mungu.
So you definitely know the boy is amazing. Wakikwambia ni uongo, wambia that's a long corny, yes, the boy is corny.
When you empower a woman at the expense of a man, then you have no community at the end of the day, because it takes two to build a community.
Now we feel the society has taken a step back from looking at the boy child. So we have this other side which is accelerating and the boy child side which is stagnated.
Boy child must face it rough, you know. So I think there needs to be a stand on that.
دريتيش يما اللي حاصل وانت غايبة.
Ningependa tuzungumzie aina za watu ambao hawataweza kuonja ama kunusa hata harufu ya pepo ya Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Katika sifa hizi 10 zimetajwa hapa, ukiwa nazo kutokamana na mafundisho ya Bwana Mtume sallallahu alayhi wasallam, wataingia katika moto wa Jahannam.
Good afternoon. You are in time for the Lunchtime News. My name is Irene Muchuma. Glad to bring you this broadcast after quite a while. Thank you so much for always keeping it KBC Channel 1, On sign language interpretation this afternoon, we have Byron Abuli. Let's interact on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. We begin with education concerns. Learning has been paralyzed at Jabstate Academy in Kakamega County after a private developer erected a wall blocking access to the school. Learners, accompanied by teachers and parents, held peaceful protests demanding the demolition of the wall. Meanwhile, students at Mamangina Girls High School in Mombasa have finally relocated from the upmarket Kizingo in Mvita constituency to Shanzu in the North Coast Kisauni constituency.
At Shanzu in Kisauni, Mombasa County, Mamangina Girls High School proudly sits on this 20-acre piece of land donated by Shimolatewa Boys School. One after the other, trucks ferrying chairs and other school property arrive at the institution under the watchful eye of the National Youth Service officers. As schools reopen for the first term, learners are streaming in as well. The excitement is quite evident on their faces as they sing the school anthem with pride. The girls' school will be neighboring the Shimolatewa prison, Shimolatewa Boys Secondary School, and the Shanzu Teachers Training College.
The biggest challenge was congestion and over-enrollment. Because of the government policy of 100% transition, the demand for the school was there, but it reached a point that we could not take any more. And you see, that was not good because every girl or every boy has to go to school. And now this is not the case here because we have a spacious place.
They'd be free because of participation in issues to do with games and co-curricular activities, because we have a bigger field, so that will help them relieve their stress and perform better.
The school now hopes to admit more learners with more amenities in place.
With such a special place, I am glad and I'm very optimistic that because we work as a team, the results for this place and the target will be overreached, I think.
Our expectation this year is to, as Form 4s, is to bring the mean score of the school from 7.9 to 8.5.
And this school has just been the best to me, and it has also helped other students pass the exams from here, and they have gone well to the universities. They are doing well right now.
Meanwhile, students of Jabstate Academy in Kakamega are unable to continue with their studies after a private developer erected a wall blocking the entrance to the school. The pupils joined parents and teachers to demonstrate against the act, calling for intervention to enable them continue with their normal classes.
And I want to say they should remove the wall that they have placed there, because we can't access anything inside here. The buses are here and we can't get them outside. So I'm just asking them to remove the wall.
Hii ukuta imejengwa na hatuna namna ya kuingia shuleni. Basi yetu yamefungiwa hapa, watoto wengi wameshindwa kufika shuleni sababu hawana namna ya kufika shuleni. Tungependa kuomba aliyejenga ukuta huu abomoe, sababu ni njia na imetumika kwa miaka mingi. Tungependa kuendelea na masomo yetu kama kawaida. Tusinyime watoto haki.
After demonstrating, they were forced to pack and go back home with hopes that they would find a lasting solution. Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
All right, this afternoon, President William Ruto is in the county of Nyandarua to officiate the launch of Boiman Kwamombi Road, that is on Jolo Rarok constituency. Let's cross over and listen in.
Hapa Oljororok wakiwa hapa Boiman, lakini wanafanya kazi, kampuni iko Marekani kupitia kwa mtandao, ile digital jobs ambayo tuko nayo. Mimi nauliza nyinyi vijana wa hapa Boiman, nyinyi tukileta kompyuta hapa tuwafundishe kufinya kompyuta itawashinda? Ate kufinya kompyuta na ufanye kazi utawashinda? Mutafinya ama mutafinya? kabisa mpaka kazi itoke. Tunaelewana? Vile vile mimi nimezunguka duniani, mbali na kusort out mambo ya madeni, nimepanga ajira ya hawa vijana. Tumepanga digital jobs, nimeongea na nchi ya Marekani, nimeongea na Wajerumani, nimeongea na watu wa Canada, nimeongea na watu wa Saudia, nimeongea na watu wa UAE, na tumepatiwa nafasi ajira zaidi ya 500,000, 500,000 jobs for our young people for export. Na hiyo mpango tumeanza wiki hii. Kama muliona gazeti ya Tuesday, tumeadvertise wale nurses watakaoenda Saudi Arabia 3,500 wa kwanza. Kati ya wale 500,000 tuletee madola tujenge Kenya, na wao pia wafaidike kwa ajira watakayopata. Si tulikubaliana wera ni wera? Wale kwa mjengo hapa si watafanya kazi? Wale wa digital jobs si watafanya kazi? Na wale wataenda nje si watafanya kazi? Wera ni wera ama si wera ni wera? Tumekubaliana? Vile vile nyinyi ni wakulima sugu, watu wa Nyandarua. Nyinyi ni watu wa bidii sana, na mimi na waheshimu. Nyinyi ndio mnazalisha chakula, nyinyi ndio mnalisha Nairobi, nyinyi ndio mnalisha Kenya, na mimi nataka niwaambie serikali yenu itasimama na nyinyi.
All right, President William Ruto in the county of Nyandarua, this as he launches the Boiman Kwamombe Road in Oljororo constituency. Thereafter, the president is expected to commission all Kalau water and sewer project in the region. Now, from Nyandarua, we cross over back to the city, where the principal secretary in the Ministry of Immigration is currently addressing members of the press at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Let's cross over and listen in.
Fantastic job to ensure that they're able to process many people. Right now, we don't have any backlog. Applicants come in on priority basis, they apply, and within a very short time, within 12-24 hours, they get the ITA. And for those who require further security check, they take a maximum of 72 hours to be processed. Why? Because we believe that security is very paramount for our country. We're also happy to say that of the 51 countries who have been coming to Kenya on visa-free, the system has given them priority, so that as soon as they apply for ETA, they're able to get it as soon as possible. So there's no backlog and there's no reason to worry. We invite all guests to come to Kenya and enjoy Kenya's sceneries, Kenya's beaches, Kenya's national parks, game reserves. They can see the Big Five. They can be able to enjoy many tourist sites here in Kenya. So ours this afternoon is really to let you know that we are doing so well. The system is really very good. People are really enjoying it. And we believe that we are going to double the number of tourists, the number of travelers coming to Kenya with a new policy announced by His Excellency the President. Thank you. Maybe DG Migration can say something also before you ask some questions.
Proceed. Go ahead. Good afternoon, everyone. As the PS has said, we are here just to give you an update of how we are doing. We are here 1 week ago, last Friday, and the system had just started. And so far, we have improved the system. We have been listening to feedback from our clients, and we have gone ahead to reduce the number of questions in the forms that were causing a bit of stress to the people. So we have now edited our system. We are updating it every other time to ensure that application is stress-free and as fast as possible. And also we have prioritized travelers in that as they are coming, when they apply on the other side, the system is intelligent enough to be able to prioritize travelers that are coming in. The team at the headquarters is working 24/7 to ensure that clearance is done, especially on priority basis. So we are here to update that the system is working and working well. The travelers are also giving us positive responses, and the system is already on. We are here also to welcome the few that are arriving in a bit, just to also prove to you that the system is working. Ours is just to request that give us your feedback as well, and also pass the correct information to our travelers and to the Kenyans as well. We are here to answer your questions, and we are on reach for any questions. Please help us to give the correct information, because it's a new system and there are many questions Kenyans are asking, and also our travelers out there are asking. And as the PS put it, the world is going towards ETA. One advantage of ETA to us as Kenya citizens is that we are able to get data of everybody who travels into this country. Before, our system may not have been able to get everyone, but for now, we are getting everybody, which is very good for our security and is very good for our policy planning in this country. Thank you very much.
Julius Bitok, the Principal Secretary on Immigration, leading a number of officials for the ministry. This as they ensure that the visa-free exercise continues as planned by the government. In other news, 88 goats and sheep that were stolen from Meru and Somali herders last year have been recovered in Daba area of Isiolo County. The new development brings to 104 recovered livestock following an earlier recovery of 16 herds at Lasiroro village, Samburu East, Samburu County. This comes amidst ongoing public sensitization forums by security operators and civic leaders between pastoralists from Isiolo and Samburu counties.
Under the watch of elders and National Police Reservist NPR, these 88 goats that have been recovered troop back home. Their recovery settles a conflict that has been simmering between the pastoral communities. The truce comes after a multi-agency approach between 6 members of the county assembly who have conducted baraza on the need for peaceful coexistence between the 3 pastoral communities.
Sisi tutaenda kufanya kazi kwa foot soldiers kurudisha mali yote ambayo ilibiwa. Ng'ombe za Meru, mbuzi na pia ngamia za Waturkana.
Mikutano ndani ya jamii na pia kuweza kuhamasisha watu wetu ya kwamba wizi ni kitu mbaya na pia ni kitu ambaye imetupotezea muda kwa muda mrefu sana.
Tuko tayari kufanya kazi pamoja because hii hakuna mtu anafurahia mtu yote aibiwe mali yake au mtu apoteze maisha.
The MCAs underscoring the need for grassroots peaceful engagement.
Tupe muda tuingie ndani ya watu wetu tuweze kuzungumza na watu wetu. Hivi sasa tunaona iko positive. Iko positive kwa sababu tayari mali imeanza kupatikana na pia wamesema waizi wote.
With the Council of Elders vowing to collaborate with security operators in ending the vice.
Tumerudisha mifuko na bado tutarudisha sote na tutarudi kula kiapo mtu tena akitoka aende kuiba tutafanya kiapo ya hiyo mtu akufie njiani. Sisi tumesema hivyo.
Ndeleza paka kila mtu ataridhika, ule mtu ameibiwa yote. Tutahakikisha ameridhika, amepata mali yake.
Other meetings have been scheduled to take place at the Ngarendare area in Isiolo County, Sere, Olipi and Yarata areas in Samburu County. Parsai Frederick, Lunchtime News.
Kwa hivyo sisi tumeshikana tukasema ni
Sophia Boniface 11 in Voi, Taita Taveta County are living in fear of eviction from a 6-acre piece of land they have occupied since 1960s. Residents claim unknown individuals visited the area and allegedly bought plots in the area last month without involving them. This comes as tension is high in Athi River, Machakos County, with residents expressing similar fears of unlawful eviction by purported land grabbers who they claim are working in cohorts with police to evict them.
Athi River residents are accusing unknown individuals of intimidation following a notice to them to evict their homes. The locals claim they possess land ownership documentation but have been urged to vacate.
Ni sasa hapa ni kama ni mwenye nguvu mpishe. Askari wamekuja, hawataki mtu asimame hapa, wamechapa watu, wameingia kwa msitu, hawataki watu wakaribie pale na wako ready kuchapa mtu yeyote ambaye anawauliza. Tukauliza, mko na stakabadhi, mko na makaratasi yote ambaye inaweza sema kitu tofauti? Tofauti na ile ukweli ya sisi kama hapa ni kwetu. Wanasema hiyo sio mambo yao, hawatatupatia makaratasi hata kidogo, lakini watakata.
The residents are accusing Athi River Police Commander of inaction despite their calls for him to intervene in the emotive land conflict.
OCVD wa River ametumika sana kunyanyaza sisi wakaaji wa hapa, na tujui ni hatua gani amechukua ili kuja kunyanyaza sisi.
However, Sub-County Police Commander Jos Mudavadi says security decisions were taken after relevant documents were presented, dismissing claims of police working with the alleged grabbers.
Mwananchi kama ako na stakabadhi ambayo inaonyesha ya kwamba na tuweze kudhibitisha ya kwamba stakabadhi ni yake, hatutaweza entertain wala ambao si wenye shamba kuingia kwa shamba ambalo si lao.
He urged aggrieved families to seek legal redress, even as he cautioned against purchasing land without conducting due diligence.
Ningependa kueleza wananchi ya kwamba waweze kufanya kitu ambayo inaitwa due diligence. Hakikisha ya kwamba umeconfirm kabla uweze kununua shamba, sababu hapa kuna ulaghai mwingi unaendelea.
Meanwhile, in Voi-Taita County, residents of Sophia Bona Phase 2 are living in fear of eviction from a 6-acre piece of land. They are concerned they could face a similar fate as residents of Voi Msambweni, who were forcefully evicted on 5th of January. They live along the old railway line bordering Old Mombasa Road and Voi River.
Hivi majuzi imetokea mabonyenye wamekuja wametuwekea beacons katika ile eneo. Wamedemarcate eneo na hatujui malengo yao ni nini. Juzi Msambweni wamebomolewa manyumba zao, na sisi hapa katika kuona hali hiyo hatujui kama mpango yao ni nini.
Hizo beacons hawajatujulisha za kazi gani. Walikuja tuna watu wa lands na wakaweka hizo beacons na zikatutatiza sana.
Kulingana na mabwenyenye hawa, tulipotaka kuwauliza maswali, walitutishia hata wakituambia kwamba tuende kotini.
John Junge for Lunchtime News.
The education sector in Kilifi County has got a major boost after an Italian investor handed over to the community a multi-million fully fledged junior school to the Jacaranda Primary School in Jacaranda, Watamu area. Jacaranda chairman Pasquale Tirito, who single-handedly built Jacaranda Primary School over 10 years ago, says the move is set to enable seamless transition of pupils to grades 7, 8 and 9. The investor has to date built 4 new classrooms, a laboratory and administration block, and an ablution block for boys, girls, and teaching staff for the junior school. The learners have received lockers and chairs donated by 2 other investors from Jumbo Beach Resort and Bravo Beach Resort.
We're very happy to do this. This is part of a project to give back to the community. It's just the first step of several we're going to do. We're soon going to give an ultrasound machine to a primary care here that will be used also for women, pregnant women, freely of charge.
We have to give hope for the better future to all this community in this area, and especially us that we are working in a tourism, that we have to give our contribution to this school and to this new generation.
Na siku ya leo pia tunafurahi kwa sababu junior secondary walikuwa wakitumia ile junior, walikuwa wakitumia Jacaranda Primary, na hivi leo officially yani Mr. Chairman Mr. Pasquale anatupatia shule ya junior secondary officially.
A section of school heads in Narok County have pledged to empower more school-going girls to access tertiary education after several students secured slots in universities following the release of the 2023 KCSE results. The principal at Oletipis Girls, Lady Olekule, however, wants parents to shun retrogressive cultural practices such as early marriage and encourage them to pursue education. Oletipis Girls and Karangiro Secondary School are among institutions in Narok County that cannot hide their joy, having produced more students to universities from the 2023 KCSE results.
Out of 28 students, wanafunzi 12 wamefaulu kwenda university. Na hii ni mara ya kwanza tumefanya mtihani, kwa hivyo tunajivunia, na hii ni day school ambaye iko na watoto needy.
The county takes pride in the increase of the number of girls who excelled in their exams to meet the cutoff mark to join university compared to last year. Oletipes Girls Principal Lady Olele Kula now wants parents to prioritize education of the girl child in the region.
Tumeona matokeo hayo yakiendelea kupanda juu mwaka baada ya mwingine kwa miaka mitatu iliyopita, na sasa tumeweza kufikia alama ya 7.125.
Meanwhile, there was joy in Laikipia County as more than 100 bright and needy students benefited from over 18 million shilling scholarship courtesy of Olpejeta Conservancy. Laikipia Governor Joshua Irungu says the beneficiaries are from underprivileged families living around the conservancy.
The government might not be able to do it alone, lakini with the partnership with the other launchers, with the other good partners and stakeholders, I'm sure that we can give a transformation agenda for our people by educating our kids and equipping them with the skills and education.
Meanwhile, identical twins are appealing for financial support to pursue higher learning after they separately scored 365 and 340 marks. The duo say their mother, a single parent, is not able to cater for the school fees. The two girls would want to pursue journalism.
Yule mtu yote ambaye ataguzwa na anaweza kutusaidia, tunaomba usaidizi. Our school of choice is Rangala Girls, and we would like to go to that school because it's a really good school.
In Kasarani, Halima Nyakuti Abdallah and Nuru Acheng Lepusia are also appealing for financial support to join high school after scoring 383 and 245 marks, respectively.
Sitaweza kuenda shule wiki ijayo. Nimeitwa shule ya Oletipes Girls Secondary School. Baba yangu alitoka Nairobi kwa sababu hakuwa na pesa ya kuweza kuendelea na kazi yake, na mama yangu anafanya kazi ya kusonga nywele.
Naomba usaidizi wenyu, munisaidie nipeleke hao watoto wangu shule ili wascore their dreams. Mapata yangu ni ya chini kidogo, ni siwezi nika afford school fees yangu.
In a move aimed at cushioning parents and guardians from financial constraints, Mandera County government has increased its bursary allocation for all-day secondary schools in the county. The adjustment saw the Elimu kwa Wote initiative revised from 70% to 88% for all-day schools, while boarding schools will maintain the current 60% allocation. During a meeting with representatives of secondary school heads, Mandera Governor Mohammed Khalif emphasized the importance of prioritizing the initiative as a way of improving the education sector. Khalif also highlighted the constraint faced by teachers in the area, appealing to the government to address staffing issues.
We rolled out this initiative, Elimu kwa Wote. Actually, our enrollment increased. The transition from primary to secondary school is almost approaching 100%. That's actually what His Excellency, the President William Ruto, has been actually rooting for. So with the increment of enrollment, of course, there will be pressures on the facilities and the teaching staff.
A solution will be found for those very big number of BOM teachers. I know our schools are understaffed. There is a school with 33 BOM teachers. The list in our schools, there are schools with all TSC teachers are only 2, the principal and the deputy. The rest are BOM teachers. So I think those issues will be looked into.
Former Nyaribari Chache Member of Parliament Chris Bishage has called upon Kisii County leaders to prioritize the needs of the electorates instead of championing for their selfish gains, which is polarizing the county. This comes amidst the ongoing wrangles between South Migirango Member of Parliament Sylvana Sosoro and the county's Governor Simba Arati, which is said was derailing development in the region.
Leaders must differ in principle, but when it comes to wish of the community and the expectations of the community, if leaders from the Gusii community are not working together, they have only 5 years to deliver before they can seek another mandate. I am one of their subjects, and I want to assure you that the way I've seen politics in Kisii, if we are not careful, we are not going to achieve and deliver to the community with expectation.
Glad you're watching the Lunchtime News. We are taking our first commercial break. We'll be back with more news, including business and sports. Stay with us.
What happens when a perfectionist and a powerhouse fall madly in love and bring their young, fun, and fabulous kids? You get a perfect blend of family and comedy. Watch Come Stay, a brand new comedy starting 11th January at 7:30 p.m. Only on Maisha Magic Plus, DSTV channel 163, GoTV channel 3.
I'm not going to turn my back on her like Sergio did.
What do you mean, Sergio?
Yes.
You better keep your distance from Amador Zuniga's son. I don't think he is neither prudent nor desirable.
How would you help me forget Rodrigo?
I think you know very well
that you and my daughter have this special something. Is this true or just a rumor?
We have to do something, Rodrigo. We have to solve this problem for our own good.
In the name of the man that signed it. His name was Ricardo.
Ricardo? Which Ricardo?
得意太早，这能说明什么呢？我敢打赌，
你也是研究弦理论的。
不是，我是研究大米的，都小于60。是时间。倒计时，是个倒计时，还有1194个小时。时间的尽头。
Glad you're watching the Lunchtime News. Welcome back. Now, matatu operators in Migori County have expressed dissatisfaction with what they claim as continuous harassment by the National Transport and Safety Authority. The operators claim that since the agency initiated a nationwide crackdown a week ago, their services have been severely disrupted due to the stringent demands imposed by the authority. According to the leadership of the matatu operators in the county, the crackdown has led to paralysis of their services and fare increase. The operators further state that the ensuing fare increase has left many students traveling back to school stranded. They are now urging the Transport Management Authority to reconsider and ease off on the strict measures, at least until all learners have successfully returned to school.
Wasafiri wamekwama, hawana magari za kuwachukua wafike mahali wanaenda, sana sana wanafunzi. Wanafunzi wamekuwa na shida kuanzia juzi, hawapati nafasi ya kwenda shuleni kwa sababu NTSA wameziba kila sehemu. Hakuna magari sasa zenye zinaingia hapa zinachukua wanafunzi waende shuleni. Tulikuwa tunaomba serikali kwamba wakae kwenye barabara na waangalie vitu vya gari, lakini waache magari zifanye kazi, wanafunzi wafike shuleni salama.
Tunawaomba serikali yetu watusaidie na watu wetu ambao tunafanya nao kazi pamoja,
Ingawa watoto ni wengi ama wachache, wasiongeze nauli. Hata wenyewe wakumbuke walikotoka. Wasinyanyaze wenzao ama watoto wetu, hatutakubali.
Zile watu wa NTC wako barabarani, gari zinakuwa less. Sasa inabidi wale wenye gari wanaongeza fare, inakuwa juu. Inaumiza wazazi na inaumiza watoto. Mtoto anapatiwa fare kidogo, lakini akifika hapa amekosa gari, anapata fare imeenda juu. Sasa zile fare inaenda juu, anaumia, anaenda tena deep into pocket.
Now, the 2023 edition of the annual Rusinga Island Cultural Festival ended in a memorable fashion, having provided a unique opportunity for residents and visitors to learn about the rich ecological and cultural heritage of the Abasuba people. As Wycliffe Okech now reports for My Culture, the festival featured an array of cultural activities, including a cooking competition based on traditional methods. Take a look.
The 19th edition of the annual Rusinga Island Cultural Festival was staged on Ngode Island in Lake Victoria. The tiny Ngode Island is administratively located within the confines of Rusinga Island Ward in Subanot constituency, Homa Bay County. Provision of free ferry services between the two islands gave access for a multitude of the locals and visitors to witness and feel the fascinating scenery that characterized the week-long festival. And thanks to the festival, the tiny Ngode Island got its first motorable road, courtesy of the event's organizers, the business community also reaping handsomely from the showpiece.
We have gone to Mombasa for so long, so we are used to the process. Now it's, I urge people to come explore the new frontier in tourism. That is Rusinga Island, the Homa Bay County, and other regions within the lake.
The festival featured an array of cultural activities which included boat racing for men and women, ball games, fishing, swimming, and presentation of the various archaeological fossils extracted from the island. The vast Rusinga Island hosts members of the Abasuba community, although Samuel Adede, the chairperson of the Abasuba Council of Elders, confesses that the Abasuba's culture life has been eroded by the influence of their Luo neighbors since the emergence of Christianity and modern education.
Watu wa Rusinga kijadi ni Wasuba, na mara walipowasili katika sehemu hizi za Nyanza tulikutana na Waluo, ndoa ikaanza kupita katikati yetu. Kuna wengi sana wawake walikuwa Waluo. Alafu vile vile wakati elimu na dini ilipokuja, ilikuja kwa lugha ya Waluo. Sasa ikameza kidogo lugha ya Kisuba.
Adede says most cultural practices between the two communities today overlap to the extent that it has become difficult to draw a line between the two communities.
Ningewashauri vijana kwamba wafanye bidii kukuza lugha yao, kujifunza lugha yao. Ingawa mara nyingi unaona hata wale walioenda katika nchi za ng'ambo wamezaliwa huko wengine, lakini wakirudi nyumbani tunahimiza wajifunze lugha yao. Lugha ni utamaduni, lugha ni jamii. Ukipoteza lugha ni kama utamaduni wako.
This is evident in the cooking competition that was part of the 19th edition of the annual showpiece.
So for you to do that, you had
Yes. Chef Stephen Dongla has been tasked to judge the competing sets of cooks based on the traditional methods employed by the participants.
Culture was meant to give discipline, but also to be celebrated, and to understand what you do in your culture, what you do in my culture, and to celebrate it. So when it's incorporated in this particular setup, I mean, it gives a different value even to the Homa Bay County through the Ministry of Sport, Culture, Tourism sector.
Dongla says the fireplace must conform to that used in the olden days and that the cooking material and ingredients must all be traditional.
Unalo kwa nakava na either matope, ama huyo ametumia unga ya ugali.
Hiyo ni unga,
hii ni unga ya ugali, yes. You can either be creative with either way. So by doing so, no steam is escaping.
Okay.
It's more like a modern days pressure cooker.
Kama tumeweka namna hiyo, ndio chakula itakuwa mzuri. Hiyo chakula ya nyama.
As opposed to the fortified packet flour, the participants must use the traditionally made flour if they are to win the contest.
In this particular, more like a carved stone, that they used to grind a mixture of millet, sorghum, maize, mostly for ugali, Waswahili wanasema sima.
To produce that flour.
flour.
The eventual winner of the contest must also serve the cooked meal in a traditional manner. In this case, they will use banana leaves instead of the modern-day plates. In the place of the serving spoon, they will use shells collected from the lake shores.
So ukishapika kwa nyungu, once watu washaanza kupika chakula ya baki, is being hung here right in the middle of the kwa nyumba. Because unapata nyumba wameka hii beam na roof juu. So this structure so zimehangiwa unaweka chakula hapa. So paka haitafika hapa.
The annual Rusinga Island Cultural Festival is not just held for the locals to enjoy the festivities, but clearly it also provides a platform for the locals to relive the traditions of their Basuba and by extension the people of Rusinga.
Umeona kama mapishi yanaendeleza ya kijadi, mchanganyiko wa Kiluo, mchanganyiko wa Kisuba, watu wa kale na vitu vya kale na michezo, vitu kama hivyo imetuleta kwa umoja.
For Channel 1, I am Wycliffe Okech. Kakamega woman representative Elsie Muhanda has pledged to table a bill in Parliament that will create a legal framework on how to deal with men who impregnate teenage girls. Speaking when she met over 400 students from Kakamega County who got a second chance to study after dropping out of school due to pregnancy, Elsie regretted that cases of teenage pregnancy are on the rise in the county. The residents of Kakamega County have also been urged to unite in the fight against cases of child abuse in the area.
Kwa maana ningetaka kusaidia watoto wote, lakini siwezi. Leo tuko na undi, tunasaidia worth 7.5 million kwa hawa watoto wetu. Na tungekuwa na vile tunaweza, the needs zinaenda beyond hiyo pesa. Na pia mimi naomba serikali pesa ya affirmative action ikuje haraka iwezekanavyo.
From Kakamega, we head to Muranga, where an education event is underway. The event, dubbed Masomo Bora, is taking place in Kiharu. Let's cross over and listen in.
Thank you very much. Najua kuna ile tuliweka mabati ambayo inaigiza hata jua. Hatukujua jua itakuwa mingi, lakini poleni kwa wale wanachomeka kidogo. Sasa ningeomba tukifika hapo niite hii rafiki yangu. Aragi ogwo ukona tarari oro ogwo no. Ni mundu twaragiria wega muno nginya TV-ini. Hau mbere akwaritie ta mutarani, ona riu ngumwita ta mutarani na women rep wakia.
All right, a section of political leaders are in Muranga, Kiharu. These as they launch Masomo Bora program, one that is aiming at improving education standards in the region. We have able team on the ground. Be sure to catch up with a comprehensive news item on the same in our comprehensive news bulletins later on in the day. Time for business news. Now, Trans Nzoia County government has banned home slaughtering of animals and closed livestock markets in the county in a bid to contain a suspected outbreak of foot and mouth disease. The county's Agriculture County Executive Committee member, Fanis Katundi, is advising farmers to use Magadi soda on affected animals, adding that the devolved unit has started a vaccination exercise in a bid to contain the spread of the disease.
Livestock farmers in Trans Nzoia County are grappling with losses after losing the animals to a suspected foot and mouth disease. The farmers say the disease has rendered the animals immobile, forcing farmers to physically carry the animals to the grazing fields.
Tumekuwa tukitumia njia ya zamani ya kienyeji. Tumekuwa tukimbia madukani, tunanunua magadi, tunaoshia ng'ombe kwa mdomo. Pia tunatumia GV ya kuspray, tunaosha kwa miguu, tunaspray. Na kwa njia nyingine wale ambao hawakuwa na pesa wanapeleka kwa matope.
The farmers add that efforts to contain the disease has borne little fruits as more animals succumb to the disease.
Ng'ombe ilishikwa na hii ugonjwa, ilikuwa ni ya kutoa ulimi nje na tuko najua kwamba ni ugonjwa wa miguu na midomo. Sasa wakati tumeendelea tukaita daktari akakuja, lakini kabla daktari hajafika tulikuwa tunapelekanga asubuhi mtoni.
In a bid to minimize the disease spread, the county government has banned the slaughter of animals in homesteads, asking residents to instead use approved slaughterhouses.
Ng'ombe kabla ichinjwe ni lazima ipimwe. Na saa hizi tumetoa instructions kwa uwezi chinjia ng'ombe kwa boma. Lazima upeleke kwenye kichinjio. 2, huu ugonjwa tumesema ni virusi. Ambapo kama vimeshika ng'ombe, tumeona kuwa ng'ombe zile changa ndio zinakufa kwa haraka kwa sababu immunity yao iko chini.
Farmers have been advised to consider using magadi soda on infected animals.
Spreading ya hii ugonjwa kwa wingi. Unapata kuwa kuna barabara main yenye na connect Trans Nzoia County, Bungoma County na kule Pokoti kapita mpaka Uganda. So unapata hii ni transit.
Trans Nzoia County government has started a vaccination exercise in a bid to curb the spread of the disease.
Across the borders in the world of business, Suzuki has announced plans to invest over 600 billion yen in India to build a new factory capable of producing 1 million vehicles annually. This is in a move to shore up its current 40% market share amid keen competition from Korea. Suzuki Motor Corporation already has 3 production bases in India, including in the western state of Gujarat, and has reached a basic agreement with the state government to construct a new factory to enhance its production capacity. Details of this and other stories in the news-making headlines internationally.
The new Suzuki factory is targeted to start operations in 2028 with an expected annual production capacity of 1 million vehicles. Additionally, the company has announced plans to set up a new production line at another factory in Gujarat that will be capable of producing electric vehicles. This line is scheduled to become operational in 2026 and is expected to increase the factory's production capacity by 250,000 vehicles annually. While Suzuki is positioned as the market leader in India with the market share exceeding 40%, competition has been intensifying with Korean and local manufacturers. Elsewhere, Malaysia and Singapore have agreed to jointly develop a special economic zone (SEZ) in the southern Malaysian state of Johor, aiming to attract investment and free up the movement of goods and people. The Southeast Asian neighbors will work towards a full-fledged pact aiming to cooperate on renewable energy and smoothing procedures from business approvals to border clearance. The two neighbors will work towards enhancing the cross-border flows of goods and people, as well as strengthen the business ecosystem within the special economic zone to support investment. Finally, a recent dip in Apple's stock over worries upon iPhone sales has left the Silicon Valley tech heavyweight in danger of being overtaken by Microsoft as the world's most valuable company. Fresh worries about smartphone demand have pushed Apple's share down 4% so far in 2024 after rallying 48% last year. Microsoft is up about 2% year-to-date after surging 57% in 2023. Apple dipped 0.4% on Wednesday, with Microsoft added 1.6%, further eroding the iPhone's maker lead. Apple's stock market value is now at $2.9 trillion compared to Microsoft at $2.8 trillion value.
Glad you're watching the Lunchtime News. Time for sports. Over 50 foreign athletes are expected to compete in the third edition of the Sirikwa Classic Cross Country set for next month in Eldoret. Meanwhile, Mary Ngugi will line up for this year's Boston Marathon in the United States in April.
Sirikwa Classic Cross Country organizers are targeting to invite over 50 foreign athletes for the third edition of the gold label event slated for 3rd of next month in Labo Village, Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County. The event director Barnaba Korir said they have invited athletes from Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania and Eritrea, with the final list set to be released by the end of this month.
Honorable Ababuna Mwamba has come up with very noble ideas like having a talanta hela, a talent and hela, which is money. You have to use your talent to earn something, and that's exactly what we are replicating. What he's talking about, the support from the government through his ministry, and of course now the partners that will also be working together like Absa Bank and others who will be joining us.
Korir also hinted that Athletics Kenya may use the event as trials for selecting Team Kenya for World Cross Country Championships set for Belgrade, Serbia on 30th March. The categories for this year's event include the 10-kilometer senior men and women, 6-kilometer under 20 girls, 8-kilometer under 20 boys, mixed relay, the kids event as well as the new race for the veterans over 45 years.
We vet and only pick those ones who can qualify for the trials now, the main trials. Then those ones will now go for the trials that will select the team, that the team that will go to Beirut. So we have a multiple filtering point that gives opportunity to every athlete a chance to showcase their talents.
Meanwhile, Mary Ngugi has announced that she will line up the start of this year's Boston Marathon to be held in April in the United States. Ngugi says she enjoys running in Boston, having managed 2 podium finishes. Join Abwile for Lunchtime News.
The postponed 2023 Africa Cup of Nations will finally kick off on Saturday as the continent's top teams fight for African supremacy. Initially slated for last summer, climate concerns in host nation Ivory Coast saw the competition delayed to January 2024. The tournament, which originally began with just 3 teams back in 1957, now boasts mammoth 24 sides doing battle in its 34th edition. Host Ivory Coast kick off the tournament against Guinea-Bissau in Abidjan, aiming to win the competition for the 3rd time. Defending champions Senegal, World Cup semi-finalists Morocco and Egypt are also in contention, as well as other African powerhouses Nigeria, Algeria and Ghana. The final will be played on 11th February at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium. Liverpool staged a second-half turnaround to beat Fulham 2-1 at Anfield in the first leg of their Carabao Cup semi-final tie last night. In the Spanish Super Cup semi-final, Real Madrid beat Atletico Madrid 5-3 in Saudi Arabia.
Van Dijk, and here's Pereira, and Bradley tries to make a challenge. Williams danced his way through, and Fulham lead. Liverpool got themselves into a mess at the back.
Liverpool came from behind to beat Fulham 2-1 in the first leg of their Carabao semi-final thanks to 2 goals in the 3 second-half minutes from Curtis Jones and Cody Gakpo.
That's nicely done by Jota. This is Curtis Jones. Oh, it's in! How's that got in? He won't care!
The 2 sides will meet again in the second leg at the Caravan Cottage on Wednesday, 24th January.
Liverpool have turned it around. Cody Gakpo, they've worked it beautifully downfield.
Real Madrid beat Atletico Madrid 5-3 in extra time in a Spanish Super Cup semi-final thriller in Saudi Arabia. Real Madrid will take on the winner of the Barcelona vs Osasuna match in Cup final. Meanwhile, Lazio secured the Coppa Italia semi-final place with a 1-0 victory over Roma.
Give Lazio the lead, effortlessly done.
And on that note, we come to the end of Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback on our social media platforms. My name is Irene Muchuma Odem. On sign language interpretation, we have Byron Abuli. For more details, we'll just add items and many more. Do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. Till some other time, God bless you.
Iko na nini?
Tukuli.
Tukuli ni nini?
Tukuli ya bachelor's boys whatever. Tukuli ndio hiyo mheshimiwa.
Wewe ni mtoto.
Mimi si mtoto.
Unasoma hiyo shule?
Sisomi kwa hiyo shule.